Why the Sea is Salty by Monkey Tales. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village nestled between green hills and a sparkling river, there lived two very different brothers. The younger brother, Timo, was poor but full of heart. He lived in a tiny wooden cottage with his wife and two children. The little that his family had, he found scraps to share with the birds that sing in his yard. He always had a kind word for everyone he met. The older brother, Bruno, lived in a grand house with golden fences and silver dishes, but he was greedy and grumpy. He never smiled and never helped anyone, not even his own brother. One chilly winter's day, as snowflakes danced through the air, Timo found that he had no food left in his cupboard, not even a crumb for his family. "I guess I'll have to ask Bruno for help," he sighed, wrapping his coat tightly around him. Timo knocked on his brother's fancy door.
"What do you want now?"
Just a little rice. Anything to get me through the new year.
"Fine, take this old sack of crumbs and don't expect anything more."
Timo thanked him and walked home, trying not to feel too sad. As he crossed through the forest, he saw a small, wrinkled old man sitting on a tree stump, shivering in the cold.
Good evening, sir. Are you hungry?
Starving.
Without hesitation, Timo opened the sack and gave him some of the crumbs. The old man's eyes sparkled. He stood up and with a wave of his hand produced a strange-looking wooden object. It looked like a toy spinning mill with a little handle.
You've shown great kindness. This is a magic grinder. Ask it to make anything and it will, but remember, when you've had enough, you must say, "Stop, little mill, stop."
Timo was amazed. He rushed home and whispered, "Little mill, make me a feast." With a whirl and a sparkle, the grinder spun and poof! Out came hot rice, sweet cakes, warm soup and golden bread.
Stop, little mill, stop.
He cried, and the grinder stopped immediately. Timo was overjoyed. He shared his feast with his neighbours, who danced and sang all night. But when Bruno heard about the magical grinder, he was burning with jealousy. Late one night, he snuck into Timo's house, grabbed the grinder and stuffed it in a sack.
"I'll sell it to the king and be even richer,"
he muttered, rushing to the docks. Bruno climbed into a boat and sailed out onto the open sea. As the waves rocked his boat gently, he thought about how rich he could be if he sold salt to the king instead of giving him the grinder.
"Let's see if this thing really works. Little mill, make me salt."
The grinder began to spin. Whir, whir, sprinkle, sprinkle. Salt poured out in shiny white piles.
More salt. Make more salt. I'll sell it by the barrel."
But soon the salt piled up around his boots. Then it filled the boat. Then it spilled over the sides.
"Stop right now. Halt. Enough already. Quit it."
Bruno cried. But he didn't know the magic words. The grinder spun faster and faster, salt flying everywhere. The boat wobbled, tilted and splashed down it went, sinking to the bottom of the sea, with the grinder still spinning. And from that day on, the sea has been salty. Greed can sink you. Be kind and good things will come your way. Thanks for watching, friends. See you next time for more magical monkey tales.